Hey guys, welcome back. I'm here today to review Survivor Series 2016, the WWE pay-per-view that just happened tonight. Boy, was it an awesome pay-per-view. As you can see, I'm wearing a SmackDown shirt. I was supporting Team Blue tonight. I was really hyped to see them take down Team Raw in one way or another. I already knew it was booked in a way. I was like, I'm figuring Raw is going to win one, SmackDown's going to win the other, and then SmackDown hopefully win the last one between the top 5 of Raw and top 5 of SmackDown. And then, of course, we had the fantasy warfare match between Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. Yeah, I was very much looking forward to this pay-per-view, and I can absolutely say I was not disappointed by what I got. Not at all. Let's start off from the beginning. The first match we got tonight was the women's traditional Survivor Series matchup between Naomi, Carmella, Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, and what was supposed to be Nikki Bella, but she got attacked before the match, and then she had to get replaced by Natalya. And it kind of reminded me of SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, because I know how this storyline is gonna go forth, and it's gonna take some time in the SmackDown show as to who attacked Nikki Bella before the match started. Who knows? And now on Team SmackDown, they face off against Team Raw, which consisted of Bayley, Alicia Fox, Charlotte, Sasha, and Nia Jax. This match was really, really nice. All the women got a chance to shine. Some eliminations were very surprising. I feel as though there was a missed opportunity with the 4 horsewomen of wrestling. If for those that don't know, it's Bayley, Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky, because they're the ones that came up through NXT that kind of brought the women's division up a level and put it back on the map, because it had been floundering for a little bit. There was like one or two, but throughout the last 15 years, it's usually been like one or two in the division that could really, really go, and then the rest would kind of be like, eh. And then these 4 women from NXT all could go and all led and rocked NXT, and now they're all on the main roster, and it's fantastic. And I feel like they missed an opportunity there, because there was a moment where I was like, okay, this match could end up where Raw has Sasha, Charlotte, and Bayley, and then SmackDown's only left to fight on her own. Becky Lynch versus the other 3, and it'd have been fantastic. It would have been booked like that, and then Becky could have eliminated 2, and then she could have lost there. It'd have been fantastic, even though I wanted her to win, because Becky's my favorite of all of them. But yeah, it was a good match. Raw pulled out the win, and then at the end of the match, Charlotte attacked Bayley. So we know that feud is gonna go and probably go all the way through to the Royal Rumble. But it was a good match. Second matchup, we saw Sami Zayn take on not Dolph Ziggler. It would have been Dolph Ziggler, but he took on The Miz for the Intercontinental title. It was just an alright match. It was alright. It was like nothing I didn't expect to see, except for the ending, in which there was kind of like a screw job being done by Maurice. He just kept ringing the bell, and then it didn't really count and stuff like that. And then Miz kind of got the roll up on Sammy, and from my point of view, it let the ref count at 2, but they say it was 3, and she kept ringing the bell, so it was kind of but Miz retained, which is disappointing, because I thought Sammy would beat him, and I was like, okay, we'll bring the Intercontinental title to Raw, or take Sammy to SmackDown. Both would have been pretty cool. And this was followed by the SmackDown versus Raw tag team traditional Survivor Series matchup. The Usos, Heath Slater and Rhino, American Alpha, and who else was there? Oh, there's so many. Oh, it was such a good match, but I forget the opponents. But yeah, okay. So anyway, Raw versus SmackDown. All these tag teams. Like, you start off with Enzo and Cass on Raw, and the Club on Raw, and the New Day on Raw, and Cesaro and Sheamus on Raw. And the Shining Stars on Raw. And the Hype Bros were on SmackDown as well. And then it is a great match through and through. All the tag teams, again, got a little bit to shine in. Breezango was on SmackDown. That's the team. So it was Breezango, the Hype Bros, the Usos, the Heath Slater and Rhino, and then American Alpha. It was a good match. Shocked and surprised by the early eliminations, but it carried on. It was pretty good, and then it ended up coming down to the Usos and Cesaro and Sheamus, which shocked me because I thought it was gonna end up between like American Alpha and like the New Day, or like American Alpha and the Club, just like see. But even though they're two heel teams, it's still been pretty cool to see. The Usos were booked very strong in this match, and so were Cesaro and Sheamus. And by the end, it was like, oh my god, it's like, cause this would be really really cool if the Usos won this thing, because it was fan. Once it got to those two teams, the match got really really good. Ultimately, Cesaro and Sheamus pulled off the win with a nice brogue kick, just saving Cesaro from an intense super kick from Jimmy Uso, I believe. It was really good, and it was a nice match, and I enjoyed watching it. And this was followed by the Cruiserweight matchup between the Brian Kendrick and Kalisto. Lucha, lucha, lucha. Really, really, really excited for this. Kendrick had a fantastic promo, great editing on it too. Before the match, I was very hyped for this match. I like watching Kalisto very much. I'm a fan of Brian Kendrick, and I like that he's actually getting to do stuff for this company right now, beyond training people like Eva Marie. And this was a good match all the way up to the point until the interruption. But Kalisto was busting out moves that we hadn't seen him do before, at least here in WWE. Brian Kendrick was going really, really hard into having a solid match. It was really, really good up until the interruption by Baron Corbin, who again attacked Brian Kendrick and then attacked Kalisto because they still got beef apparently. It was very disappointing. See, I know a lot of people like Baron Corbin for whatever reason, and I think he's kind of a interesting character. But I'm just like, this was one of those matches I was like, it just kind of ruined the match for me a little bit. I was just like, oh crap. So I'm glad Kendrick still has the title, because I would like him to have a long reign. But if he came up against Kalisto, I wanted Kalisto to win it and bring the Cruiserweights to SmackDown, because that had been time was it would fit, because 205 Live, their new show with the Cruiserweights, supposed to be on Tuesday nights, so it would have fit. Anyway, yeah, so that was a really good match, except for the interruption. But even then, I'm just like, I'll take it how I leave it, because I know Kalisto, they're going to do something cool with Kalisto. I think they really like Kalisto, and I think they're going to give him a shot to keep proving himself, because he's really, really good, in my opinion. And then next we had the, I believe, the Raw vs. SmackDown Top 5 Stars from each brand traditional Survivor Series matchup. And this was arguably, this might have been one of my favorite matches of all time that I've seen. For those that don't know, my favorite matches, my top 2 favorite matches, like out of all, is like elimination tag matches and like Battle Royals / Royal Rumble. Just the idea of like, you never know who's gonna get who. The match isn't over when one guy's down. You could end up handicapping, see if the guy can pull it out and just beat everybody. I love those matches. So, and this match was, they gave him they gave him at least an hour just to have at it. And these 10 guys brought the house down. 11 guys, actually 12. It was Jericho and Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Braun Strowman on Raw versus Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, and who was the fifth one? Let's see, Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, and oh my God, who was the fifth guy? Shane McMahon. Oh my God, I don't know how I forgot that, but it was freaking awesome. This was a great match. Fantastic story told throughout. And like I said, they got a full hour to do it. James Ellsworth's involvement actually played in something kind of cool. Braun Strowman was a freaking monster. AJ Styles showed why. I'm pretty sure like AJ Styles, he works so stiff, so strong, but it's so cool. He's probably the best worker in the business. Seth Rollins was awesome. Roman Reigns was cool. Randy Orton. he does know every match there's gonna be a spot where you're just like, that's why he's one of the best in the business. Because Randy Orton, RKO out of nowhere, you already knew it was gonna happen at some point. And there was a nice, they had been building up this whole idea of the Shield could this could be a Shield thing. And we all thought it was like, okay, it's gonna come down to Roman and Seth versus Dean Ambrose. Didn't work out like that. Dean Ambrose, and this happened kind of throughout all the matches, except for probably the tag match. Well, yeah, it did happen in a tag match too between Enzo and Cass and the Club. There's arguing between the teams because you got people out that don't like each other on these teams. And in this match, it was between AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose, who were supposed to fight each other at TLC in Dallas, Texas, December 4th. In a TLC match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And they were fighting in this match. And Shane McMahon, being the commissioner of SmackDown, he was trying to break them up because he was like, hey, we cannot get swept because we already lost 2 matches. Can't lose another, really. Let's try not to look bad. Really bad. And, they kept fighting. Dean got eliminated because AJ Styles hit him. And someone capitalized on it. And later on in the match, Dean Ambrose came back and he tagged AJ Styles. And then security was trying to take Dean Ambrose out. And, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns saw an opportunity. And in one of the greatest fan service things I've seen in a long time from this company, Reigns and Rollins took out the security trying to take Dean out. And all 3 of the Shield members came back and they ganged up and put AJ Styles with that triple powerbomb through the announcer table. It was fantastic. It was phenomenal. No pun intended. Yes, it was. And then, like I said, Shane, with the help of Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, diving. Shane McMahon, the fearless leader, diving through Bray Wyatt, who was laying on a table. It was fantastic. And then Shane got caught with a spear when he was trying to do the coast-to-coast drop kick on Roman Reigns. Roman caught with a spear. It was glorious. Glorious. But, he took it, and I was like, oh, because then Shane didn't get pinned or submitted or counted out. Ref stopped the fight for him. Because Shane was twitching, his shoulder was off the mat, but he was kind of twitching awake, but didn't look conscious at all, so he cut him out of the match. He walked out of the arena, but, it was like one of those moments where I was like, oh, he might really be messed up. But congrats to him for fighting through. Took that spear from Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns looked great this match. I think the crowd was kind of, at some points during the show, kind of felt like the crowd was kind of trying to hijack it a little bit. Some moments were cool, like when they would count 10, 10, 10 during the countouts, even though it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The crowd was just going 10, 10, 10 because of NXT TakeOver Toronto, which happened Saturday night. And Ty Dillinger, his match with Bobby Roode, glorious, which was a great match. That I accepted. Didn't count 10. That was cool. Because NXT TakeOver Toronto was freaking tastic also. If you got the deck work, and well, really, if you're watching wrestling, if you like watching wrestling, the NXT shows and NXT TakeOver specifically, those shows, TakeOver, Respect, Arrival, all that. Those shows are some of the best that wrestling has to offer right now. Some of the best wrestling you will find. Even though it's kind of like the developmental territory, a lot of matches on these shows are really, really good because they got guys in developmental that are there, that it can work, that are can be top guys in the company, but they're down there helping the guys that aren't ready yet, and they're putting them in matches with these guys that have done this for years, and they're making everyone look fantastic in these matches. So, got a little sidetracked, but yeah, and the crowd tried to hijack a little bit. At some point, throughout most of the match, they were kind of still booing Roman, I guess, kind of iffy on him. But there are moments like with the Shield moments and all that, they were cheering him. They were cheering because they were happy for the Shield, for Roman. I'm one of these guys. I've always been a fan of Roman. It kind of bugs me that they still boo him, especially when you got guys like Finn Balor that come out and say Roman's one of the best workers right now, minus like a couple things, but he's really, really good. He's not as bad as everyone says he is. So it was kind of dogged about, but I really enjoyed this match. Roman was good in it. Everybody was good in it, really. Jericho and Owens weren't in it as long as I expected them to be, but other than that, it was a really, really good match. And Randy Orton, he's true to form. This whole Wyatt thing's gonna keep going. Luke Harper made an appearance, and it was pretty cool because Luke Harper's cool. He had a match in the pre-show against Kane. He didn't win, but it was one of those matches where I was like, all right, well, okay, well, it's kind of shocking. Kane wasn't in the Survivor Series match to begin with, and then Luke Harper was like, well, he's got to do something with the Wyatts. So he got to do something cool because everyone loves Luke Harper because as big as he is, he does stuff that he shouldn't quite do for a guy of his size because they're kind of like cruiserweight stuff. And James Ellsworth, he did something a big move, but he paid for it because Strowman did not like it. And again, like I said, they make Strowman look like a monster, which was cool because he is a monster. He's so freaking cool. I can't wait to see what they do with him. But yes, this was fantastic. This was a great match. It'll probably go down in one of my all-time favorite matches. Like I said, they gave him a full hour just to clean house, and it was great. And at the end, it came down to, because of an RKO out of nowhere, it came down to Roman versus Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. And with Luke Harper there at the apron. So Roman had his work cut out for him, and he was already limping. So it's like, oh, can Roman do it? He couldn't quite pull it out. Randy saved Bray. And then Bray hit him with the Sister Abigail. SmackDown won that last match. So it was like 2 Raw, SmackDown won. I'll still wear the shirt. I'm still proud of Team SmackDown for what they did. Team Raw, y'all are the better people. I give y'all props. Y'all beat Team Blue. But that also means Undertaker, he's coming for SmackDown. He said there is no reason to fear failure. But if Team Blue don't win, y'all gonna have to answer to me. So that means we're gonna get a whole lot of cool Undertaker stuff coming on pretty soon. So I was very pleased with that match. I loved it. I can't wait to watch it again. It's really, really cool. And then the main event, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. So hyped by virtue of the fact of for those that don't know, I started watching wrestling in around late 2006. Goldberg had been, at that point, been gone for 2 years. I didn't realize who Goldberg was up until maybe 6 years ago. Around 6-7 years ago. And when I first saw him in his matches, I was like, oh my God, who is that guy? Because he reminded me because of when I started watching, he reminded me a lot of Bobby Lashley. And I was like, this guy's pretty cool. And his spears, oh my God, he's breaking them in half. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And almost the same with Lesnar. Lesnar, I didn't pick up on until many years later. And I was like, wow, he's a beast. And I was always like, okay, well, last matches were against each other. Now that's pretty cool. And like I said, I became a real big fan of Goldberg. I love his theme music. That can get you hyped. That's what you put on when you walk to the gym. That was one of my things when I used to play sports. I would be like, that's one of get you hyped for the game. Put on Goldberg's track. Tell me you won't get hyped for war. Yes. So these two, Fantasy Warfare, gonna do it again. Lesnar, a guy that I have had my issues with by virtue of the fact of what he kind of wants to do in his matches. He does like 3 things. He's kind of like suplex, F5, and then sit on people pretty much. Kind of sort of like that. And he does the MMA thing. His match, I was very disappointed by the Randy Orton Lesnar match. I'm very, kind of because, I wanted Randy to win. And then because it's like, okay, well, they made Brock look very, very strong. And then on top of the fact of news just got out that, okay, well, Lesnar's been apparently using performance-enhancing drugs to win his UFC fight. And they don't even test part-timers in the WWE. So I'm like, well, what the crap, man? Like, seriously, all right, Lesnar, you're a freak of nature, or bear. You could probably kill anybody on the planet you want to. And you're taking performance enhancer drugs? Like, what do you need them for? You already won. You beat the gym. You won already. You don't need none. But, so this guy, I've had my issues with him, but I understand. He's legit. He can probably hurt anybody he wants to. When he decides he wants to, he can put on a really good match. A really good match. And the fact that Paul Heyman has to talk for him is aggravating beyond existence of any stretch. Like, it's like, God, like, if Lesnar if Lesnar spoke for himself more often, I'd be good. I'd be like, all right, whatever. But the fact that Paul Heyman's got to speak for him is like, oh, Jesus, like, you got a mouthpiece? Okay, whatever. Shows how limited you can be. But, yeah, so, anyway, I was still hyped for this match because Goldberg. I've never seen Goldberg perform live. I was really, really hyped to this. I became a fan of Goldberg. I like Goldberg. When I first he was coming back, I was like, this is going to be awesome. And it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, hopefully he doesn't mess up too much because, the marks are going to get on and be like, oh, you probably should stay retired. Guy's in fantastic shape for someone that's pushing 50. Dude's still in fantastic shape. Like, he still looks like better than a lot of people I see in the NFL. And, it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, please hope this will be good. I know he's got a family watching him now that it's their first time watching him too. I'm like, let's hope this goes well. And this match, I got the chills when I saw Goldberg get out there. And they knocked on the door and he walked with the police. I was like, oh God, I'm hyped. And then he did his intro. And he did it. I was like, oh yes, it's going down. Goldberg is here and he's ready to. Who's next? Who's last. That's all I got to say. And it was fantastic. The match started. Lesnar immediately puts him in the corner, and I'm like, oh gosh, this is gonna get brutal. And then Goldberg just like shoves him off, and Lesnar falls, which is an impressive feat considering Lesnar doesn't lay down long enough to feel the effects of an attitude adjustment by John Cena. Lesnar gets pushed down by hardly anybody in this company. Hardly anybody. Unless your name is The Undertaker. Or Braun Strowman, maybe. Or Mark Henry. Goldberg pushed him down. And we're all like, okay, Goldberg. Alright. Stay in there with him. Like, don't turn your back on him. As Lesnar gets up. And he turns his back for like 2 seconds. And turns around. Spear! Fantastic. Goldberg gets to the corner. Another spear by Goldberg. Oh my God. And then he hits him with the jackhammer. And I'm thinking, he might do this. This might be a squash match on Lesnar. Ref counts. 1, 2, 3. Ring the bell. You lost. Goldberg dominates. Domination by Goldberg. Early dominations for Lashley, but devastation continues for Goldberg. It was awesome. Oh my God, it was awesome. This made my entire weekend. Oh my God, this was fantastic. I enjoyed it. That was fantastic just to watch. Oh my God, nobody got hurt. Seriously, but oh my God, it was like that was fantastic. I was very happy. Goldberg won. It's like yes, that match lasted about a minute and a half. A minute and a half for a match, and that was the main event they've been building for the past 2 months almost. So yeah, wow, this was that was a great ending to great pay-per-views thus far. And then I was watching it with my buddies, and there was a moment where it was like, I think there's a thing where it's like there's a little bit of a thing against pro wrestling in general. It's just like I was like, oh yeah, he's like you see, like that kind of looks like, hey man, you know, right? Like it's not all the way real. You understand me? And to that I say, look, I watch movies in theater all the time, right? I watch a bunch of TV when I can. A lot of stuff that I watch ain't quite real. There is not a dude. Hold on, I'm looking dead at my Man of Steel, Batman v Superman poster. There's not a dude from Krypton that looks like Henry Cavill that can do these things in real life. Alright, there's not a dude that looks like Ben Affleck that goes around prowling the night like a giant bat. I understand the line between realism and kind of like script for pro wrestling. I understand that. It's not why I'm watching it. I don't watch it thinking, oh yeah, definitely working a fight. Because it takes too long to set up a pump handle slam in a real fight for it actually be a nice fight. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be in a real fight and just try to do, five knuckle shuffle. It's just things you can't quite do. But it's like, it's not exactly what it is, it's what it can be. It's the potential. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and, it's about storytelling. It's just about storytelling. Like a lot of fights you see in movies and stuff. Probably not quite how a fight would actually go. Like, you see, it depends on the characters. Like, you see a fight between, I don't know, like, freaking Batman and, Batman and Bane. That's close to how maybe a real fight could go, maybe. But then you see a fight between Superman and Zod, or Green Goblin and Spider-Man. Not quite. Not quite the same. But, it's what a fight can be. And it's like what, it's a story. It's like, you buy into the fact that, okay, that's whatever, him, so he's going to feel pain. You buy that, you get into the story that they're telling, and then it becomes awesomeness. That's why I like it. And it's like the boogie. Whatever happens, who wins, I understand everyone getting paid. Thing is, it's what stories will happen after this. What this means if this person wins, how the company feels about said person, considering they won the match, and how the company feels about people that lose the match, or what this means. Are they putting over and everything like that? That's what it's for. That's why I watch. That's why I love this stuff. So, yeah, great pay-per-view. Survivor Series 2016, fantastic. Much better than SummerSlam 2016. A lot, I would say, except I'm trying to think. With the exception of the women's match and the one in the ladder match at WrestleMania 32, this is better than WrestleMania 32. With the exception of those two matches, it's better pay-per-view than that. This was really, really good. Y'all did just, that was fantastic. That was glorious pay-per-view. I enjoyed it. Well worth the $10 I spent a month on the WWE Network. So that's what I thought. Tell me what you guys think. Did you like the pay-per-view? Did you like how it was laid out? Tell me about it. If you guys didn't see it, tell me. I can tell you. Watch it if you can. Go check out. I'm sure the fight's gonna be online, probably illegally, but see what you can. Like, watch Raw and SmackDown. I'm definitely tuning in to Raw and SmackDown to see the repercussions of what happens. So, SmackDown won that last match, so we can see someone could get fired on Raw tonight or tomorrow night. But and SmackDown, what does The Undertaker have to say to those who almost cost the match on SmackDown, and for the rest of the SmackDown division, like the tag teams? Because tag team SmackDown lost, and women's SmackDown teams lost. I doubt The Undertaker will mess with the women, but who knows? So let me know what you guys think. Put it in the comments below. If you like my video, please like, subscribe, share, let the world know I enjoy it. If you didn't like the video, tell me why. I'm bound to talk about it with you. I answer quite rapidly usually. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I had a blast. Oh my God, Survivor Series 2016. SmackDown, we lost, but I still got you back. It's going now. If we had John Cena on the teams, we probably would have won, because Cena don't lose often, except for this year. But anyway, yeah. So that's it, guys. See you in a bit. You're awesome. Keep being awesome.